The second match of the World Chess Championship was played on 10th April, where Ding started the game by playing the d4. He played d4 and the opponent played knight f6, bringing knight into the game, and then Ding played c4, trying to grab the center, which Nepomniachtchi played e6, trying to open his bishop, and then the f3 by Dingler and white, and black plays d5, and for Dingler played in fourth move h3. The h3 is actually a good play and most aggressive move at this stage, because black cannot just simply put his knight in here and in the next move he can threaten with the bishop. So you have to move. It's a very good move actually. So much will be said about this curious and rare choice as early as 4 moves. So one of course the idea didn't work in the game, but let's not be too quick to judge its merit. The job of studying opening for those who play white at the highest level is very difficult. You have to come up with ideas that your opponent hasn't studied much with the computer. So in chess, as in other sports, it is easier to destroy than to create. For this reason, more and more exotic ideas are sought after. The move has no specific idea, but now we have to think about how the h2 and h3 moves affect black's choice for different moves and transposition, such as what if fourth move was c6, if you would have made c6 or bishop to b4 and so on. So this would have been in some kind of royal locus, but instead the black takes and Nepomniachtchi decides to take this game to typical queen gambit accepted position. The next moves are very natural, and I believe that at some point the game would transpose to some position well known by theory, but it didn't. So white played e5 and the opponent played c5, now trying to exchange the pieces so he can remove his double pawn. And then bishop takes the pawn at c4, black plays a6. It's actually a good move. Now you are blocking his bishop, and white castle to the king side, c6 and knight to c3. Here black plays b5 and trying to attack the bishop, so we move bishop back, and now the game which was played, bishop to c6. At this stage there could have been two moves. C could have taken d4, black could have just taken this 4 and tried to deflank this knight, but black didn't, so he just played Nepomniachtchi played b7, bishop to b7. So another pawn comes and the game continues. And now at this stage black played Nepomniachtchi tried to deflect the knight, which is actually quite a good in a good position. So the knight in the center is controlling more squares and trying to sacrifice its knight. So you can play just knight to a5. Here black can just simply play knight to a5, or c takes d4, still a move stays, or knight takes e4. But instead the move was played knight to a5. Interestingly, Ding had this position with the white against one of his Aronian in a blitz game player. So in 2021, with the difference that the rook was on e1 and the pawn on h2, the move 11 knight a5 works much better in case of the present game as in the version in better for black. So Nepomniachtchi then played knight to f5. According by the chess engine, this was actually the blunder. This was a mistake, sorry, not the blunder. So it had opened the g file, trying to open the g file by sacrificing his knight. So it's actually the combination of this file with the bishop on b7 can be very dangerous. So the 12th move was played. White takes, black takes with the pawn, and now perhaps Ding underestimated the strength of this move, which weakens black's texture for a good reason. This is a difficult move for chess player with a very positional style, but it's natural one for someone who likes the initiative like Nepomniachtchi. e4. This makes things worse. What if he had taken the e4 pawn? Then it would have been actually a very bad and could give white a central advantage. So the next move was played e4. This was the delayed move, but white played this. So what does the black play? Black takes the c5 pawn. Black plays c4. So despite handing over central control to the opponent, black can now take the king to the queen side and start a threatening attack with all his pieces. So white takes it back. The knight, the queen is on the move. The bishop. Now the rook to g8. Now another rook moves, and now the black castles to the queen side, a long castle. And what does the white play? White played d3 in order to sacrifice the knight and open the g file, trying to pin the black's queen here. And this was actually the good move, but engine thinks it's a bad move because now this makes things worse. And we just gonna see how black moves and didn't take the bait. So rook to e1, trying to open. Now this was the good move. The move received high praise from Ding at the press conference. And the bishop to c2, black blocks. And now knight c6, trying to grab this pawn. And d4, trying to grab the center. The bishop to b5 to g5, rook takes, and now you take the rook. So the game moves continues. So the f6 was simple, a good move towards winning for Nepomniachtchi here. So knight takes back. Now he has wasted his move. Knight f3. Okay, not bad. And you just give your good knight for nothing. Now the rook is in the game. We protect, we try to save, and the game continues. Now the black is advancing. You take back, and now the rook to d4. c2, one step away from being promoted. White plays h2, trying to grab this square, and also in this rook is also attacking the c2 c pawn file. So let's see what here the black plays e5. So the rook does not have a proper square at this stage. An excellent game from Nepomniachtchi, who showed it to be in a great shape. Ding's performance in these first two games is worrying, but now he will have a free day to rest, and the next match will be played on today on 12th April and continue the fight in the third game. At this stage, the Ding Leroy just resigned and gave victory to the Nepomniachtchi. So, after these 14 games, who has 7.5 points, who will reach first, he will be the next world chess champion, and it will be taking over Magnus Carlsen, the current world chess champion, who didn't defend his title. So this was all for today. This was the second match, so wait for today on 12th April, the second match of the chess, the third game. The third game will be played and it will be live streamed, and I'll be giving you a live review of the game. Hope to see you in the next video. So thank you for joining.